Can you please state your name and a little bit about yourself?
Hi, my name is Dr. Avery Diallo, and I graduated from Duke University with a PhD in psychology, and I am currently studying the effects of the mental illnesses, anxiety, and depression.
My name is Espen Clark. I'm 16 years old, and I was diagnosed with depression when I was 12.
Hey, my name is Dexter, and I was diagnosed with depression when I was 15.
Hi, my name is Lindsay Henson. I'm 19 years old, and I was diagnosed with generalizing anxiety disorder a long time ago. I don't remember.
Hello, my name is Gavarius Williams. I'm 21 years old, and 4 years ago I was diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder.
Can you please define anxiety and depression?
Anxiety is medically defined as chronic disease characterized by an excessive and persistent sense of apprehension. Depression is defined as mood disorder that causes a persistent feeling of sadness and a loss of interest. Both can seriously hinder a person's ability to perform everyday tasks and can lead to suicidal thoughts and actions.
How do you feel when you're hit with a depressive episode?
Depressive episode? Oh, you mean when I feel like blowing my brains out? I don't know. I feel numb, I guess. Like, life's not worth living. Like, I want to kill myself.
How severe is your anxiety?
I have a panic attack almost every day. They aren't always severe, but they're there.
How do you feel when you have a panic attack?
Like I'm gonna die. My head gets clogged up like it's filling with cotton, and I'm hyper aware of everything. People's conversations get louder and louder, and I can't even hear myself think.
What's it like living with anxiety?
It's kind of like having a monkey on your back that whispers in your ear constantly and questions basically everything you do.
In your medical opinion, how effective are these mechanisms?
Generally, music and social support, though not necessarily through social media, are accepted as helpful. Studies have shown that music helps people with anxiety and depression with thought processing, as well as boosting their morale.
What do you do when you get like this?
I put on headphones, block everything out, the voices. My thoughts become clearer, and I can think again. My head feels like it's gonna stop exploding, and I calm down.
What do you listen to?
A lot of stuff. Arctic Monkeys, 21 Pilots, City and Color. Although when an attack is especially bad, I listen to Beatrice Miller, an artist from France that my Tumblr friend showed me.
Why do you listen to them?
I mean, it's like no matter how I'm feeling, I feel like I can really relate to them, and it helps me lift my panic attack and take a more relaxing place. I feel like empowered when I listen to them.
In 2014, John Newsland, along with other psychologists, did a study on how people with mental illnesses interacted with each other online. The study showed that the participants created a sense of community with each other, helping each other through to cope with their illnesses and encouraging them to take their medication.
Well, why don't you?
This is the part where I'm supposed to say something like, I stay alive for my family or my future or some shit like that, right? Well, honestly, I don't know. I guess I stay alive for my friend Angel.
Who's Angel?
Angel was my best friend. I met him on this website called Wattpad when I was 14 and he was 17. I don't know, he's like my rock, I guess. I don't know what I would do without him, and I don't think he'd make it without me. And whenever I feel like shit and I think about cutting or something, I talk to him and he always seems to know how to make me feel worse something.
Tell me more about the website.
Wattpad, it's like people go up there and write stories and poetry and stuff. Like a lot of other people up there have depression, and I don't know, there's just a lot of people I can talk to about how I'm feeling, and like they understand me.
The effectiveness of cannabis, however, should be looked at individually between two illnesses. In my opinion, cannabis is effective when dealing with the symptoms of anxiety.
How do you deal with the monkey?
Well, typically I just distract myself. You know, watch TV, listen to music, fuck around online, smoke a little weed, the works. If you can't hear the monkey, it can't bug me.
However, with depression, I feel that cannabis is probably not the best effective coping mechanisms.
How do you cope with your depression?
Amongst many things, I smoke weed.
How does it help you cope?
When I smoke weed, I feel more at ease. It lifts my spirits when my depression hits at its hardest.
Though there are studies that show that cannabis can lead to less depressed moods within patients, I feel that ultimately the true effectiveness can only be determined on an individual basis.
What do you think about studies that show that smoking marijuana is actually detrimental to somebody with depression?
Well, pardon my French, but I think that's bullshit. The ignorant are always quick to talk about studies that show weed as detrimental. Did you know there are studies that show that regular use of people with depression have led them to having less depressive moods and actually more positive attitudes than the average drug without depression who uses it recreationally?
No, I didn't.
Of course you didn't. Miracle marijuana has been used for years to help people with physical ailments, chronic pain, loss of appetite, muscle spasm, seizures, the list goes on. But for some reason, when it comes to psychological ailments, the thought that weed could be helpful is ridiculous, just because little Jimmy likes to get high behind the jungle gym in the park.
Are doing these things more helpful than taking your medication?
I wouldn't say they're more helpful than my medication. I think they work best coupled with it. I still take my pills when I'm feeling anxious, but I'll also smoke a blunt too, or listen to music or whatever. I don't think that anyone should do something else instead of taking their medicine. That's when things become problematic.
What about the threat of incarceration because of the legality of the use of medical marijuana in the state?
Would it be better if instead of getting high, I took a shot of vodka or down a whole bottle of whiskey? That's what my cousin Thomas said, and where did it get him? Well, your guess is as good as mine, because he disappeared 6 years ago. No nothing. Just gone. So do you honestly think I give a shit if smoking weed is legal or not? Because the answer is no.
Well, you wouldn't tell a cancer patient, no, don't go to chemo, hit the joint instead. It's the same principle. I know that for many people, medication alone isn't helpful in dealing with their illnesses. But no medication at all is even worse, no matter what else they use to help. That's how substance abuse happens, and no matter what you tell yourself, you don't actually have control over your disease. I think that coping mechanisms you use can only be effective if you use them alongside with other medication.
What do you do when you can't listen to music?
I used to run, hide. I can't tell you how many times my friends found me in the bathroom crying. I mean, rocking back and forth like a lunatic, holding my head like I was trying to hold it together.
Did you hold it together?
I don't know, you tell me. Do I look like I spent 3 months in a mental hospital after I tried to kill myself?
At 14, I never thought I would be in college, working on a BA in engineering. Smoking weed has helped me to accomplish so much in life, legal or not.
Don't look so horrified. I'm better now. I was a different person then. I try not to run from my problems too much. I get on Tumblr, listen to my music. I mean, Tumblr is especially cool. It's distracting. And during a panic attack, all you really need is something to distract you.
Where did you see yourself going at 14?
Every day I walked to school, I passed this tall 10-story office building, and every day I walked past it and thought, one day, I'm going to get to the roof of that building, and then poof, gone, just like Thomas.